We've got Simplicity Strength Gem. Again, this really helps out with...
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
What's going on YouTube? It's Filthy and we're back with another video. Today we're looking at a push build for the Barb on Season 24 using the Ethereal bonus for the season. This is of course the Frenzy Barb, very strong. We've just cleared 120, that's with 9k main stat, so obviously got quite a lot of room to grow in this. Tested various options. Obviously it's a classic build from the Diablo universe. I'm hoping we're going to get some D2R players who are coming to check out Season 24 for Diablo 3 as a bit of a warm-up for the resurrected Diablo 2. But before we do jump in and take a look at the build, as always, welcome to anybody who's new. Do consider subscribing if you enjoy adventures in Sanctuary. And as always, guys, a thumbs up brightens my day. Right, looking at the Savage set, this obviously all revolves around Frenzy. Now, I've tried taking Ogilds with this. I've tried... I just didn't like that. I think the kind of 6-piece COE way is the way to go. So on the Savage, 2-piece, we double the effectiveness of all of our shouts. Great, Barb has got some really good shouts. We do double damage to enemies that are feared, frozen or stunned. Now, there are some options for how you want to get this double damage. The main way that we're going to do it, or the only way, is through one of the runes on Frenzy, which is, yes, that one's Smite. 30% chance to stun for 1.5 seconds. Now, you can roll either, you know, fear, froze, or stun as secondary. So like to hit, so a belt, for instance, on your secondary, you could, if you got really lucky, get some kind of CC. Fear you want to avoid. This fear is nightmare for this build because the enemies will run away. You basically ramp your damage up over time as you stand still, so you don't want to be chasing stuff. So freeze or stun as a secondary roll is great. I don't have any, so this is literally basically as bad as it could possibly get. So we're only relying on the Frenzy stun. Now the 4-piece, we get a 6% damage reduction. Whenever we get a stack of Frenzy, we can have a maximum of 10 stacks, so 60% damage reduction. Frenzy also lasts twice as long, so you want to keep your little Frenzy stacks. An icon here in the bottom corner, you want to keep those at 10, so that will involve stopping to whack something every so often as you move from pack to pack. Frenzy deals 1000% increased damage per stack on the 6-piece bonus. Now, it is in fact the Bastion's Revered that gives us the 10 stacks. We also get a little bit of chaining. This doesn't do a terrible amount of damage, but we do also have a little bit of AoE coming from Battle Rage Bloodshed. So when we crit, we basically get this chance to deal 20% of our crits to everything within 20 yards. This is how we start doing damage. This is how we can kill trash, not just complete single target. And it is obviously good because we need the progression, obviously, to spawn the pylons. Now the kicker is obviously going to be the Ethereal item. We've gone for the Doombringer, which is the one-handed sword. Now, on a Doombringer, you'll get up to 100% damage. This one's not great. Up to 1125 strength, 15% life, 10% crit chance. Obviously, I've got fairly low at 7.5%. You know, you would like 10% crit chance. Very importantly, this has got life per hit. We attack insanely fast with Frenzy, so life per hit is great. You'll see in the footage, the life goes down, it goes back up again. We get a 100% bonus damage to all Barb skills, which is great. Ignores durability loss. We also get damage reduction, 25% for 5 seconds. Again, very nice because we are squishy, I guess, compared to some of the other Barb builds. We get increased damage against elites by 50%. This is the Furnace power. Obviously, an Ethereal will drop with any of Barb's weapons on it. I would say that you do want to be taking Furnace, or you can take a Bastion's Revered. One of those two is probably going to be the ideal, and then you're looking to pair it also with an Oathkeeper. So an Oathkeeper will give you 50% faster attack speed, which is bonkers for friends. We already attack crazy fast anyway, and up to 200% increased damage. Now you could take the Oathkeeper power on your Doombringer. You would probably have to take either a Doombringer sort of proper one with physical percent damage on. You could take an Azarath, which is the cold sword, which I think has chance to freeze on it, which would be quite nice. Echoing Fury would be okay. Again, it's got the fear on it, which is kind of annoying, but it does give you, again, crazy attack speed. But I think the optimal way to do it will be to have an Oathkeeper and then either one of the two-handed powers on the one-handed weapon. The elite damage, I think, is just absolutely godly. You need it. You want to put the elites down. You want to go get the orbs. You want to get your pylon. And obviously, you're looking for like conduit and power and all that kind of stuff just to boost your rift along. I've got the Rampage passive. It's an okay passive, and we'll go through the rest of the passives when we look at the skills. But you want to concentrate mainly on the legendary power. The passive is very much secondary. What else have we got? We've got a Traveler's Pledge and Compass Rose, absolutely perfect for this build. As we move around from mob to mob, we get damage reduction up to 50%, and when we stand still and start attacking, our damage ramps up to 100%. We've got Convention of Elements. The rune that I've gone for is Fire. That is simply because I've got a very nice Traveler's Pledge with 5% on it. You can pick any of the elements native to Frenzy. You just need to match your braces and your amulet. In the cube, we've got Depth Diggers. When we generate primary resource with Frenzy, we get 100% damage increase. Lovely jubbly. We've got a Band of Might, 80% damage reduction after casting Furious Charge. Absolutely essential for any Barb builds. COE, I can't remember if we covered it. COE anyway for huge damage on fire. We've got Simplicity Strength Gem. Again, this really helps out with sustain. We also get a 80% damage increase on this, which is nice on primary skills. We've got a Bane of the Trapped. We will be activating this because it's a close range build, so that is just straight up more damage. And then Stricken, this is just amazing for Frenzy because we attack so super fast. We ramp it up, and as you'll see, we put down the Rift Guardian very fast for a 120. We can get Frenzy damage on our belt. You want to pick that up, a 15% roll. Undisputed Champion also gives us every rune on Frenzy and gives us a huge damage modifier. And I think on Pants as well, we also get Frenzy damage. Other than that, you want as much cooldown as you could possibly get your hands on. So cooldown on gloves, cooldown on shoulders, on weapon. Obviously, we can't get it on the Doombringer. I wouldn't go to take it on your rings, on your convention. You want damage double crit if you can. If you could get cooldown on your Compass Rose, that would be brilliant. It's a really hard item to get to roll. So socket, cooldown, double crit damage would just be amazing. Attack speed's not too bad, but yeah, other than that, full defensive stats. You don't want any area damage. What's going on, guys? It's Filthy. Quick insert here. I've come to edit this video. I've got no idea why I'm telling you not to take area damage on your Frenzy build. Of course you do. It's just going to help out with your AoE. So you want it on weapons, you want it on shoulders, you want it on gloves, just wherever you can get it. And obviously in the clear that I've shown you in the video, that's 120 with no area damage. So hopefully we'll be able to squeeze even more tiers. I've absolutely no idea why I didn't put it on it. We'll make mistakes in life, guys. I can only apologise and enjoy the rest of the video. You want crit chance on your helm, obviously. You want a cooldown gem in here, again, another place to get it. You want diamonds in your chest and in your pants. And I think that should cover it, except for Mortix Brace. We get every rune on Wrath of the Berserker. This is here for toughness, and it is how we're going to manage our way through the Rift. Or guilds, if you do take that, you'll have to drop the convention, and you get elite damage and the damage reduction. It just doesn't hit as hard. Obviously on Fire Cycle, you do tons of damage, and I just find it's easier to get through the Rift actually with the Mortix Brace. Right, so let's look at the skills. So Frenzy is our main attack. We get all of these runes. Interestingly, we basically get move speed. So we get 50% move speed from Vanguard. We get the chance to stun from Smite, and then Maniac. We get increased damage up to 25%. As I say, just pick whichever element it is that you've got the nicest jewelry for. So you've got cold, physical, lightning, or fire. Just go with whichever one. It's best because you get all of the runes with the bells. Warcry, you have a choice on this. This is basically here for toughness. Remember, all of our shouts are doubled. I go for impunity because I just like the all res, because it means that if you're standing in poison, arcane, electrify, you've got a fairly decent chance of living through it, and you'll use your fast attacking and sustain to keep you in the fight. The other option is Veteran's Warning, which gives you a huge dodge chance. I personally much prefer Impunity, but that is totally up to you. Threatening Shout Falter, this is here for extra damage. Again, obviously remember the shouts are doubled. What you want to do is you want to activate this just before or just at the very start of the correct element. So I'm using fire, so I will try and wait until about now and press it so that I've got this extra bonus damage for the full 4 seconds of fire. So you want to do it just before fire so you can DPS throughout that particular window. Battle Rage Bloodshed, this is the crit detonation as we talked about. Pretty much essential. I did try taking more sustain, it didn't work. The extra crit explosion just seemed to be pretty good to kind of get us rolling in the rift. Now, Wrath of the Berserker, we obviously get a huge amount of benefits from this. We get CC immunity when it is up. We get crit chance, attack speed, dodge chance, move speed, all brilliant. We pick the Insanity rune for 50% increased damage, but remember, Mortix Brace gives us all the runes. The only other one of any note, I think, is Striding Giant. We get 50% damage reduction. Now, we don't have anywhere near perma uptime on this, but you just have to be a little less aggressive when you don't have it, because you are not CC immune, so you can get frozen, jailed, all that kind of stuff, and obviously you don't have the 50% damage reduction, so you are much more vulnerable when Wrath of the Berserker is not active. And then lastly, for mobility and to proc our Band of Might, we've gone for Furious Charge, Merciless Assault. Now, this is great because when you hit stuff, it will reduce the cooldown on it. It is absolutely phenomenal for getting around the map. It's great for getting you out of jailer, out of trouble, because if you whack a load of stuff with this, the cooldown is pretty much back. The other one that I did try was Cold Rush, obviously because you'd think this pairs really well with the Savage because it does give the 2.5 second freeze, but I just found Merciless Assault was far more useful because it's easier to keep up the Band of Might because you can press it more often with the cooldown reduction, and as I say, you can get yourself out of a jam with it. If you're about to get frozen or exploded, or you do get jailed, you can pop this. You've just got more availability to it, I think is what I'm saying. Passive wise, Berserker Rage, we're at max fury all the time, so extra damage makes sense. Nerves of Steel, you will need this. You're going to proc tons with Frenzy because it is close range and you do not have perma uptime on Wrath of the Berserker, so you absolutely need it. We're also going to take Cheat Death with the Follower. Again, very important to take that, and you're going to rely on those two Cheat Deaths, particularly when you don't have Wrath of the Berserker, and that the Cheat Death here, the Cheat Death and the Follow, you're going to balance those three things out to try and stay alive as much as possible. But again, Frenzy, expect to die a couple of times when you're pushing. Inspiring Presence, I've gone for the duration of shouts being doubled, and also we get this 3% max life per second. Probably not a great choice. I think if I could have my time again, I probably would pick Brawler for a little bit more damage. Ruthless would also probably be a much better choice, but I was just playing around, so this is what was in the clear, but I think I probably would go with Ruthless. And then Boonable Kathos, Essential, we're taking 30 seconds off of Wrath of the Berserker cooldown. Now I think I said I had Rampage in my weapon. It's kind of hard to keep this up. You get basically 1% strength increase for 8 seconds when you kill. It stacks up to 25 times, so it is brilliant. 25% strength is huge, but it is hard to keep up because you have to stop and try and kill stuff, and you have to kill something every 8 seconds, which again is not that easy with Frenzy because it's got very little kind of AoE capacity. But again, if you happen to get a Rift Guardian that's got ads, you can build your strength up, albeit it's probably easier to get one without because you can just absolutely dunk on them with the Frenzy without any kind of bother. But I think that covers the skills. I probably wouldn't change much. I think we've talked about all the different options that you can go with. But yeah, that is how it was in the 120 clear. Now, in terms of gameplay, what you want to do when you come in, you want to pop Warcry immediately to get your toughness up. You obviously want to make sure you're Furious Charging to activate Band of Might for huge damage reduction. You want to wait until you see enemies for Wrath of the Berserker because you really kind of want to get every last ounce out of that. Your Frenzy stacks will get up to 10 very fast. You attack insanely fast. Obviously, the way Frenzy works is you get more attack speed the more you attack. Falter, Threatening Shout, you're obviously wanting to time with your convention, and then Battle Rage Bloodshed, you just want to pop this and then pop it once every couple of minutes just to keep the bonus up. Don't be lazy like me. Find yourself a proper potion. All Res 1 or Boonable Kathos would be great. And then as for the follower, we have got a NEMS, obviously, to get elites, which makes this build much easier to clear, because normally, more elites are just great for Frenzy. So, the follower changes are nice. Double pile and duration, again, super handy. Really great if you get conduit. We get conduit in the clear, as you may well have seen. Really, really helps. And other than that, an Oculus ring, so you can hop in it and deal up to 85% extra damage. Token of invulnerability, and then the rest of it, just get the dudes strength up to 25k. Obviously, a Templar pairs with the Barb because they both have the same main stat, but if you want to swap the follower, you can. I just think the heal is kind of handy for Frenzy because, as I say, we are a little bit squish. Definitely pick the cheat death. You don't need any resource generation anyway, but yeah, the double cheat death is very, very handy. So that's it, guys. That is Frenzy Barb. It's a lot of fun to play. You do feel pretty godly. Don't be scared to back out of fights in Frenzy as well, particularly if you don't have your Wrath of the Berserker up. It's okay to Furious Charge away, regroup, and then come back into the fight when you've got an Oculus or the correct convention window. So don't worry too much about that. But yeah, a lot of fun to play. Classic Diablo build. Season 24, I absolutely can't wait for it. Really excited. Good luck finding your ethereal item. I have seen other people using the two-handed ethereal. I think this is the best one, but by all means, use whatever you get. Yeah, good luck with it. I'll see you on Season 24. Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. Take it easy. Peace. Honestly, game.